Have you ever been depressed and didn't know it? Well, let's talk about it. Hi guys, there are two things that I wanted to talk to you about today. And the first one is my new intro. And my intro really is about my journey. You'll see a plate of okra, which is some vegetables that I grew. You'll see me talking, and then you'll see the woman with the t-shirt. So all of these things are on my journey, growing vegetables, talking, giving advice, and selling my t-shirts. So the intro kind of explains that about me. And the second thing is about depression. So I had discovered that I was depressed, and I didn't even know I was depressed. Now, how I found out that I was depressed was I was watching a video the other day by Dr. Tracy Marks. She's a psychiatrist for over 20 years. She had made a video called 9 Signs of Depression. And she said if you had at least 5 of these signs, then you are probably depressed. And guys, I had 6 of them, and it just blew me away. But it also kind of explained my mood to me in everything that I was going through. And it kind of relieved me a little bit, because now that I knew what was wrong with me, then I could deal with it and do something about it. But the not knowing what was going on with me is what had me thrown off. You know, I hadn't made a video. Now it's been a week, and prior to that, it was 2 weeks. So all of these changes in my mood kind of explained what I was going through. I was depressed, and I didn't even know I was depressed. Then, so I had to go into doing a self-analysis and evaluating what was going on with me and why I was depressed. And I figured it out. You know, I was feeling just overwhelmed with stuff. And I tend to do that to myself when I have too much stuff going on in my life. Well, let me just start from the beginning to try to explain what it is. So I stay with my mother. My mother is 82 and I'm 62. And I'm not her caregiver, because my mother is not in a place now where she needs a caregiver. But she is going to be like needing someone who, she needs someone to be here to help her. Because my mom is also kind of going through her little issues, that ever since her twin sister died 5 years ago, she struggles. And so she goes through her times when she's feeling depressed, and or she's in a dark space. So she was inseparable with her sister, you know, and when she died, it just like half of herself she died, she lost. And so she, being also that she's aging, and then she's having trouble with one of her eyes, her vision is going away. She does not need to be by herself. And it's not something that I didn't want to do, because actually I do want to stay here and help her be here. So it was something that I wanted to do as her child, to be able to help her. And so, but in addition to what's, you know, what may be going on with her, my mother lives in a house that needs work. And so I wanted to be able to give her a hand in that work, but I can't do that financially. It's become impossible, because, you know, I don't have the monies to help her. But what I do have is talents and know-how. So me thinking that I would be this person that could, I started my YouTube channel to be able to grow it so I could monetize and be of some help to her that way. And also with me being an artist and me having a YouTube channel about my art and a website about my art, those two things I thought would also help me to generate money that I can help too. And then also with this YouTube channel where I give advice to seniors, I also sell shirts with these gestures or expressions on them. That way, when I make monies from the shirt, then, so trying to have at least 3 or 4 irons in the fire or means of support that could be a way to help supplement those things or to help generate funds to be able to repair the house. So I have all of these balls that I'm juggling and all these irons in the fire, thinking that I can manifest these things so that way I can be able to help the both of us out. But like as usual, what I do is I tend to try take on too many things. And when I have like 100 and so things to do, all of these things that I'm trying to do, I end up doing nothing. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed with work, I'll end up doing nothing. It's like trying to figure out which one should I tackle first. Should I tackle this one? Should I tackle that one? Or this one needs immediate attention. That one needs immediate attention. So I get so overwhelmed till I'll end up not doing anything that day and then feeling like a failure for not getting something done. So I start spiraling down in this guilt. But the one thing that I was consistently doing was my YouTube channel. And I'm so close to monetizing this channel with my subscribers, halfway there with the watch time hours. So there was one thing that was giving me joy that I wanted to do was to continue with my channel. I will make videos on, giving advice to seniors and make videos on my gardening. And so, but when it started to overwhelm me with all of the stuff that I had to do, it just led me to feeling these feelings, which ultimately was depression. So I was pulled back on the gardening. I was falling back on the videos. I was falling back on everything until it just kept piling up. So when I saw the video this particular day, and I was like, oh man, I have at least 6 of those symptoms. But the one thing I was proud that I didn't have was the desire to commit suicide. I have never, ever, don't care how down I was, thought about killing myself. So now I can do something about it. And when you are having a constant stream of negative thoughts in negative feelings, it can take its toll on your health. Because it all boils down to what you think about, and if you're constantly in the mode or in the mood of negative thinking, negative beliefs, negative this, negative that, then it begins to take a toll on your health. Your thoughts, because the mind runs the body. And so if you're sending these negative thoughts or negative feelings about yourself to yourself, it's a signal to your body to not feel good about yourself. And those are actually commands. And then it starts to take a toll physically, and then it breaks down your immune system. And so what was happening was I was beginning to feel sick. I was what I thought was a cold, it just lasted a long time, feeling, stomach pains, all of these physical symptoms just started happening, and I was thinking that I was just sick from catching a cold from somebody, and just not feeling well. So those were all reasons that I used to not get up and do what I needed to do. But once I started, taking better care of myself and giving myself the nutrition and the nourishment that my body needed, and realizing that I was in this downfall of depression, I needed to do something about it. So first I had to face the fact that I was depressed, and now how to bring myself out of the depression. One thing I have always been good at is talking to other people, helping people with their problems, but never being able to help myself with my problems. And being able to talk about it, like today, even talking to you guys about it, is therapeutic for me. Having someone to talk to is good for you also. And you can't just stay or sit in it and be miserable. You have to do something about it. So getting outside, getting some air, some sunshine also is helpful to the body, because you get vitamin D from the sun. And being able to breathe fresh air instead of staying in the house all day long is good for you. Going for walks also. So you need to be motivated, to hear words of encouragement, to read information that's encouraging, and do a lot of positive good stuff to help get you out of the mood. But one thing that I had realized that I hadn't been doing, that has been very instrumental in me evolving in my life, was to meditate and to talk to God. I had stopped meditating, stopped talking with God, and stopped listening or taking in the information that has been very helpful to me in my growth. So I needed to start doing those things back again in order to help me get out of this mindset and this rut. I had started meditating again, and it was very helpful. I was listening to books every day prior to this. I was listening to information that kept me in that headspace that I needed to be, that helps push me forward to do the things that I want to do and the things that I want to achieve. So you have to feed your mind. You have to take care of your mental, your physical, and your spiritual in order to be helpful, productive, and functioning. And those things I had fallen back away from while I was spiraling down. And once I began to put these things back in place, doing my meditation, listening to motivational words, talking to people, it began to slowly pull me out of my depression and saying, that is a place that I don't want to be, because it is draining emotionally, physically, spiritually. It's a dark place you just don't want to be. And I want to be of help to people and not to be a burden on people. And so, anyway, here we are. I'm back again, coming back with more videos for my YouTube channel, and also being more taking more better care of myself, so I can get back on track and get back in a space that's going to be helpful not only to you guys but also helpful for myself. How can I be a person that offers advice when I'm going through a crisis myself? So I'm glad to be back on that road to where I'm feeling better mentally, physically, and spiritually, where I can be able to pour from myself to help others, who may be in need of help. Show you all examples of my gardening, and also to offer these words of encouragement, and where you can even possibly buy them from off of my website, the t-shirts. So I'm back to trying to do things and not trying to overwhelm myself, but to continue to work towards those goals. Even at the age of 62, I don't put limitations on myself in terms of what is not possible. I know it can be possible, but I also realize that I have to take care of my mental health, and my spiritual health, and my physical health. So those things will be at the forefront of what I do for myself in order to be of help and service of somebody else. So if there's anyone out there that is suffering from depression, I really, really, really recommend that you try and get some help for it by either talking to somebody, letting somebody know, listening to words of encouragement. YouTube, I love YouTube because it's a wealth of information for people to find anything. And if I wasn't listening to Dr. Tracy Marks this particular day, I don't think I would have found out as quickly that I was depressed. And we all get depressed sometimes. But the thing is to not stay in that space, because that space it can take you out. It can cause a lot of mental and physical problems. So the thing is to try and find a way to get help for your depression. And so the reason why I mentioned YouTube is, look up the word depression, and all of these videos will pop up. And there's a lot of doctors, and it's not just people out there giving their opinions about things. There are people who have channels that are doctors, that are professionals, that are people who've been doing this type of thing for 20, 30, 40 years. So people tend to laugh at people who go to YouTube for information, but YouTube is a wealth of information, because you have all kinds of people that are putting information, helpful information out there. I stand by YouTube. I love YouTube. And in wherever you are in your life, YouTube is a good source to find information. It was helpful for me. And I, again, encourage anyone who is suffering from depression to get some help for it. Do something about it. Don't just sit there and let it consume you, because it was beginning to consume me. And I'm going to get back on back on my journey to try to be of help to myself and my mother. And while I still build these 3 businesses, I'm just not going to dump a whole lot of stuff on myself, and learn better how to handle feeling overwhelmed. But that's it for today. I just wanted to talk to you all about the reason why I have been MIA for so long, because going through the depression. I'm slowly coming out of it, and I want to be back in recording on a regular basis. The days that I have set aside to record was basically Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today is Thursday. I missed yesterday, but so I wanted to put out the video today. And I might put out one tomorrow back on my gardening, because, while I was going through my depression, the vegetables were suffering. And every now and then I'll try and water something, but I'm back at it. So I want to continue with the gardening videos, and then back to talking, and then the gardening, and then back to my t-shirts. So all of these things are on my journey. So anyway, thank you for continuing to follow my journey. and to follow my progress. I just want to encourage you who, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if this video was of some help for anybody out there, please give it a like, and don't forget to hit that bell notification button in case whenever I upload another video you'll be notified. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video was of some help to somebody. And if you are going through some depression, get help.